Donald Trump fires Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Could this be the end of the Fed's independence? And what's Trump's game in all this? Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. Before I begin, I just want to thank all of you. Engagement has exploded ever since I asked you to leave a comment with the American flag emoji. That's a huge help with the algorithm, so keep going. And while you're down there, be sure to subscribe, because YouTube has probably secretly unsubscribed you. And now, brace yourself, viewers. What follows is a terrifying journey into the world of mortgage fraud, interest rates, and inflation. I give you the Federal Reserve. Okay, I know it sounds boring, but stick with me. This will have huge consequences for you personally. On Monday, President Trump announced that he was firing Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors over allegations of mortgage fraud. This plan to oust Cook seems to have started with the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, Bill Pulte. In a statement on X, Pulte accused Cook of declaring two separate properties, one in Michigan and another in Atlanta, as her primary residence. He added that when someone commits mortgage fraud, they undermine the faith and integrity of our system, and that it does not matter who you are, no one is above the law. And these are serious charges. You see, by declaring a primary residence, home buyers are typically given lower mortgage rates and insurance premiums since they're seen as a lower risk. A down payment can be as little as 3 to 5%. Compare that with an investment property, which could require 20 to 25%. That's a decent chunk of change we're talking about. And misrepresenting your investment property as a primary residence to get those lower rates constitutes bank fraud, a federal offense that can carry up to a 30-year prison sentence and a fine of up to $1 million. That's pretty harsh and ironic. Trump's political opponents had him jammed up in court for years over his own real estate dealings. But now it seems the shoe is on the other foot. Even the New York Times saw the parallels. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Now, Cook has denied any wrongdoing and is suing the administration over the supposedly illegal firing. You can probably guess where this is going. Yep, another case for the Supreme Court. Trump sure likes making them work for their money. The Federal Reserve, meanwhile, said it would comply with the court decision, but as of right now, Cook is still listed as a board member on its official website. So, why is this important? First, you need to understand the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is the country's central bank. It basically controls the nation's money supply. By buying and selling government bonds, raising and lowering interest rates, the Federal Reserve tries to stabilize the economy. When interest rates are high, general spending goes down and the economy slows. But so does inflation. When interest rates are low, spending goes up and the economy grows. But that can cause inflation. Ultimately, the Fed tries to strike a balance, maximizing employment while keeping inflation to a minimum. Now, Trump has had some disagreements with the Fed over those interest rates. He wants them lower, but the Fed won't budge. And these disagreements usually come in the form of the president insulting the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, calling him one of the dumbest and most destructive people in government. Yeah, Trump can be a little mean sometimes. But hey, it's nothing personal. Sure, you think Powell's a fool who doesn't have a clue, but other than that, he likes him very much. See, they're friends. Now kiss. But one important thing to note is that the Fed has a lot of freedom in how it operates. Neither the White House nor Congress can force the Federal Reserve to change its policies. This, in theory, keeps the bank focused on its mission, free from politics, though the President and the Senate do have a say over who runs it. It works like this. The Federal Reserve is run by a board of 7 governors. These people are nominated by the President, confirmed by the Senate, and each serve a 14-year term. Right now, 2 of these governors, with 1 more seat pending approval, have been nominated by Trump. Another 3 were nominated by Biden, including Cook. Assuming Trump gets what he wants, that leaves 1 vacant seat. Now, while the chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, also a Fed governor, was nominated chair by Trump, He's not really in the Trump camp, considering they're falling out, so we'll put him down as neutral. If Trump can replace Cook and fill that vacant seat with people who agree with him, that gives his side 4 out of the 7 seats, meaning he'd have a majority and thus control the Fed. By getting control of the Fed, Trump could get interest rates lowered to where he wants them. And once that happens, it's time to spend, spend, spend. Now, Chris, you may be asking, isn't that financially irresponsible? Wouldn't that cause inflation? And wouldn't that make the national debt a whole lot worse? Well, you may be right. But it's possible that Trump sees no other option. You see, the government spends way more than it takes in through taxes. This forces the government to print more money to pay just the interest on its debt, which can cause inflation. And all the while, the national debt keeps ticking up and up and up. One way to combat this is by cutting spending, but most of that spending goes towards things like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and the military. And good luck getting Congress to cut any of those. We did a whole episode on DOGE and how it fell way short of its goal of cutting $2 trillion from the budget. So Trump shifted towards increasing spending, like the big beautiful bill. We did a whole episode on that too. The idea is that if you can lower interest rates, cut taxes, reduce regulations, and open up the energy sector, that'll boost the economy and create more jobs. That in turn means a bigger source of government revenue, even with the tax cuts. That can help pay off the debt. Basically, with enough growth, you can try to outrun inflation. But there's a huge risk. If growth stalls, you're still stuck with that inflation. Or even worse, you could overheat the economy and create bubbles. And when those bubbles burst, that can lead to system-wide collapse, like we saw in 2008. Like I said, it's a risky move. And while we can't be sure this is Trump's intent because we can't read his mind, there just don't seem to be many alternatives. If things stay how they are, that debt will catch up with us. And if the US defaults, all hell will break loose. Think of it like being trapped in a burning building. If you stay where you are, you're definitely going to burn to death. But if you jump out the window, you'd at least have a chance at surviving. See? I told you this would be exciting. But anyway, it looks like Trump has made his decision. America is going out that window. And let's just hope the ground is soft when we get there. What do you think? Is Trump crazy? Or could this be the only way out? What would you do in this situation? Leave a comment below. I do enjoy reading them. And as always, support America Uncovered and screw YouTube by subscribing to our new website, AmericaUncovered.tv. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thank you for watching America Uncovered.